2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. And they'll try to pound it in with Ricard. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
2nd and goal from the 1. Jackson's going to try the sneak. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Ravens post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Oh, this is blocked. The Browns have it. And he gets it past the 30, but not much further than that. And the extra point attempt snuffed down.
I need your help on this one. We just saw an extra point blocked. Do you think the rain had anything to do with it getting blocked?
Everything goes a little bit slower, but I'll tell you what, the snap and the hold, they look good.
Yeah, and most of the time, I love when you bring that up about it getting slower. It's deliberate when it gets slower, right? Because you have to go through it a little bit more. You want to be just a little bit more careful catching the ball, putting it down, and giving him a chance to kick it.
The Browns drive about to get started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. This is caught inside the 15. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Moore, the man in motion. To the air yet again, Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points are given away and could cost them a ball game?
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They go play action with Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Kyle Fuller. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. Greg Newsome up to make the stop.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
The credit the tackle to Juan Thornhill.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Tucker's kick is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. But whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this 2nd half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. After the sack on 1st down, Watson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Watson. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. Now Jackson on 1st down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This from 36 yards out. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
We're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And now here's another interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play action. Now Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. They juked him. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So an important one there as they widen their lead in this fourth quarter.
All right, partner, help me out with the math here. Make sure I am on point because the way I see it, the other guys still need 2 touchdowns, but in addition, a 2-point conversion. So this is all about them playing perfect football from here on out.
The Browns drive about to get started. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Faking the give. Now Watson. And my goodness, another interception. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. A beautiful fake. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Dobbins trying the left side. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the gun, Jackson. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The Browns drive about to get started. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Watson. Flush to his right. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Yeah, good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, middle.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now it's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Ravens look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Browns drive about to get started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 53 yards on the ground for him so far. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on fourth down. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Ravens, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Browns, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.